The Australian bush. The towering eucalyptus trees of the Australian bush stood silent in the midday heat, their leaves whispering in the dry wind. Deep in the forest, where the logging crews worked, an unexpected bond was about to form between a hardened logger and a suffering kangaroo. Chapter 1. A Logger's Discovery. Jake Timber Malone had spent 20 years felling trees. His muscles were tough as bark, his hands rough from years of gripping chainsaws. The routine. Jake revved his chainsaw, the machine's roar drowning out the forest sounds. Sweat dripped from his brow as he prepared to cut another log. A strange sound, a weak thumping interrupted his work. Jake killed the engine, listening. It wasn't an animal's normal rhythm. The horrible sight. Pushing through the undergrowth, Jake found a kangaroo collapsed against a fallen tree. Its fur was patchy, its sides heaving. Closer inspection revealed dozens of parasitic worms burrowed into its skin. Chapter 2. Emergency Rescue. Jake had seen injured animals before, but never one so sick. Quick thinking, he ripped off his flannel shirt and fashioned a sling from vines. "Easy, mate," he murmured, lifting the kangaroo with surprising gentleness. The ride back, his old pickup truck bounced along the dirt road. The kangaroo wrapped in his shirt on the passenger seat. Jake kept one hand on its chest, feeling its shallow breaths. Makeshift infirmary. In his logging camp shed, Jake cleared a space and lined it with fresh wood shavings. The kangaroo barely stirred as he lay it down. Chapter 3. The Battle Against Parasites. That night, Jake worked under a flickering lantern. First aid. Using tweezers and antiseptic from his kit, he began extracting the parasites one by one. Each squirming worm made his stomach turn, but he didn't stop. Grandma's remedy. Remembering old bush medicine, he boiled eucalyptus leaves into a strong tea, dabbing it on the wounds. The kangaroo flinched, but didn't resist. Night watch. Jake dozed in a chair, waking every hour to check the kangaroo's breathing. By dawn, its fever had broken. Chapter 4. Naming and Bonding. As days passed, the kangaroo, now called Sawdust, grew stronger. First steps. Sawdust wobbled upright, testing his legs. Jake grinned as the kangaroo took his first shaky hop across the shed. Playful moments. Sawdust nosed Jake's tools, knocking over a can of nails. The logger laughed, tossing him a carrot from his lunchbox. Relapse. One morning, Jake found fresh parasites. Cursing, he mixed a paste of wild garlic and honey, applying it thickly to Sawdust's wounds. Chapter 5. Recovery and Freedom. 3 weeks later, Sawdust was a new kangaroo. Muscle regrowth. His powerful legs could clear stacked logs in a single bound. Jake cheered as Sawdust raced around the camp. Test runs. Jake left the shed door open, watching Sawdust explore deeper into the bush, but he always returned by sunset. The last night, Jake shared his last apple with Sawdust, who gently nibbled his fingers in thanks. Chapter 6. The Release. At sunrise, Jake opened the shed door wide. The moment Sawdust paused at the forest edge, sunlight turning his fur gold. He looked back at Jake, ears twitching. The leap. With one mighty bound, Sawdust vanished into the trees. Jake stood still, listening to the thump of his retreating footsteps. The gift. On the shed floor, Jake found a smooth river stone, Sawdust's favorite toy. He pocketed it with a smile. Epilogue. A logger changed. Months later, Jake was still working in the same forest. The visitor. One evening, he spotted a healthy kangaroo watching him from a distance, with a familiar scar on its shoulder. New family. Sawdust wasn't alone. A joey peeked from his pouch, curious about the human. The understanding. Jake placed the river stone on a stump. The next morning, it was replaced with a fresh fern, Sawdust's silent reply. Final image. The cycle continues. Jake's ritual. He now leaves bowls of parasite-repelling herbs at the forest edge. The carving. A wooden kangaroo statue sits beside his jewels, its surface worn smooth from his touch. The legacy. As Jake works, he often glances toward the trees, knowing somewhere out there, Sawdust thrives.
Easy now, little fella.